Now that we have our button ready, let's add the functionality so it will dismiss our view here. So we're going to go all the way up where our game mode is, and I'm going to create a variable here that will help us to dismiss our view. Every time in SwiftUI you are presenting some view modally, we can access an environment object, and it's called dismiss, and we usually call it var dismiss. And right now we can access this environment object dismiss, and we can call it in order to dismiss any model view that we have shown. So whenever we click our button, I can just call a function called dismiss, which is whatever you call here. And now if I click on my button here, it should disappear. It doesn't do anything inside our preview because we haven't started our preview from this screen here. So there is nothing to dismiss. So if I am here and go from here and then click on exit, it will dismiss properly. All right. So the next thing we want to do in our game view is I'm going to remove this spacer because we're not going to use a spacer here. And when I remove, you can see what is going on now. Because we have some paddings around the 20 points bottom padding, you can see our yellow is a little bit bigger to accumulate all the space it needs to show our things, our views inside. So what I want to do is, instead of adding a spacer, we want to tell our VStack that it should cover all the screen. Okay, no matter how many items it has inside, we want it to cover all the screen. So before we put our padding, we just tell it to have some frame with min and max width. So the max width is going to be infinity, and the max height no need a dot here. Max height is going to be infinity as well. And you can see now it covers all the screen, but our button is still at the bottom, in the middle, because by default VStacks put everything in the middle. Okay, for now I'm going to keep it, and also I'm going to keep the backgrounds so we have some visual idea what views are where. So after our exit button, which is now is working, we are going to have our score area here. Okay, so let's go ahead and right after our close button, let's create another view builder function. Score view, and this will return some view. Okay, and we can call that after our close button. So inside our score view, again, we have some kind of age stack because we are pushing the things left and right, 2 items here. And we have a text, a score, which is another text, and on the right side, the same name of the player and the score. So let's create that. We are going to start with an age stack, create a text, and it's going to be, let's just hard code for now, player 1, and it will be like 0. And let's just duplicate this one and say player 2, and the score is 0 as well. So you can see again everything is positioned in the middle. Let's give it a background as well of color, I don't know, dot gray maybe, so we see what's going on there. So we have our color, it shows where we are. Now what we want is for these things to be pushed, so we just put a spacer in between them. And you see we are utilizing the padding we have given to our VStack, so everything stays nicely 16 points left and right padding there. So for our text, we are going to give it a foreground color of white because it will look nice on our background, and also some title and font. I could add it on each text by itself, but because these two texts are going to have exact same parameters, we will apply it to our age stack. So I will say I want a foreground color of white, and let's do the font of title 2 and font weight of semi-bold. Now everything is nicely done, and you can see this is our padding that we put initially. If I remove, it will squeeze them closer, but we want to have some breathing space there. So we have our score view as well. Obviously this is going to be dynamically controlled. We get the player name, we get the score, etc. But for now, this is all we need in order to get our view up and running. So with these two views, we want to push them up so that they will go on top of our screen. So let's go to our main here and have a spacer. Now everything goes all the way up, and underneath we are going to have some kind of game status, like whose movie it is, what is the game status, if it somebody won, if it was a draw or something. So let's create another function at view builder private func score view, and again we return some view, and we can call it after our spacer. So we say game, score we already have. We need the game status, so we can call our game status view here. And for now, let's just have some kind of text. I don't know, player wants move. And it's all the way at the bottom, but we want this to be pushed up. So what we can do is just add another spacer after our game status, because more or less it's somewhere in the middle of our screen, a little bit higher. So we say spacer, and now it's pushed up. And once we put our play area, which is our game board, it will be pushed even more up, so it will get into its proper place. So what we are going to do, again, let's, I don't know, put this in some kind of a V stack, just for you to be able to see the background that I'm going to add to it. Let's do this pink. Right, as you can see, it covers the area only that is needed in order to present the view. We will add a font of title 2, and we want to make it white, so I will add it here to our VStack, foreground color of white. Okay, and yeah, this is it for our game status view.